What's good? It's your boy Sneakerhead 30, and today we're going to be working on these 2012 Jordan Obsidians. It's not going to be a long restoration, but it is going to take some work. As you can see, they are pretty beat, but they're not that bad. There's not much we need to do to these shoes. They just need a deep clean. We are also going to need some paint for the midsoles and the uppers. They also have some separation on the midsoles, but we will glue that back together. So I'm going to start by putting the right shoe on the side for before and after purposes. We will get to cleaning. I will be using a bowl of water and soap and a brush to get the midsoles and uppers to get them looking clean. So now that the shoe is looking clean, what I need to do is tape up the areas where the separation is to glue them back together. There is two places where we need to tape up. It's going to be in the front of the shoe and on the side of the shoe. There's a little bit of separation on each side. What we are going to need is E6000, a brush, and some tape to glue the midsoles back together, and the tape to tape it up so no glue gets on the uppers. Now that the areas are taped up and ready for glue, I will be pouring some E6000 on a piece of cardboard so I can apply it onto the midsole to glue it back together. When I apply the glue on the midsoles, I gotta make sure the glue goes all the way down, or if any water or any substance gets in there, it will separate again. After you apply the glue, you wanna make sure that you hold down firmly the areas where you glued down so that it sticks together and will not separate again with time. Now we are going to be doing the same thing to the other side of the shoe. We are going to tape down the areas where the glue is going to be applied so that we can glue those midsoles back together. You're going to want to do the same thing we did on the other side. You're going to want to put the glue all the way down so that the midsole sticks good onto the leather. Again, you have to make sure that you press down the area firmly so that the glue can stick. You are going to want to put anything that will give the shoe pressure inside so that it has a tight space inside so that the midsoles that we glued down stay tight in there. We are going to want to tape up our areas on the midsoles that we are going to paint. After we tape them up, we are going to use acetone and cotton balls to remove the old paint that was on there so we can apply the new Angelus paint. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my acetone and cotton balls so I can take off the old paint that was on those midsoles so that I can apply the new paint over it and it won't have two layers of old paint on there. Now that we are working with the clean surface, you're going to want to apply your French blue Angelus paint that I purchased online, and we're going to paint those midsoles. Now that you laid down your paint, What you're gonna wanna do is remove your tape before the paint dries on the tape, and it will come off when you take off the tape. So I would recommend taking it off when it's still wet. Now what you are gonna wanna do is the same thing to the other side on the midsole. You're gonna wanna prepare it using cotton balls and acetone and remove that old coat of paint off so we can apply the new one. Now that the old coat of paint is off, you're gonna wanna open your Angel's French blue paint and apply it on the midsole so it looks like the other side. Once you are done painting, you gotta let the shoe dry. You can either heat it up or just let it sit. And after that, make sure it's not all the way dried up so you can start taking the tape off. After those midsoles dry, you're gonna wanna go onto the white part of the midsoles, tape them up so we can start applying our white acrylic paint. Now that we have finished painting and glued the midsoles together, now what we're gonna wanna do is spray the shoe with some Krylon matte finish to protect the finished touch and so that the paint doesn't come off with a scratch. Now that you are done, you wanna take your shoe outside or somewhere where you don't mind spraying your Krylon matte finish on the shoe so we could protect it. Personally, I did it in my basement because it was currently snowing outside, but it shouldn't matter. After the Krylon matte finish has dried, you're gonna wanna put your laces on the shoe and just let it sit for about 5 minutes. And after that, you are pretty much done with this restoration. Now that I have finished lacing the shoes, you can see how they turned out. The white looks white again, and the blue is a one full color, no pale blue. As you can see, that before and after, they look pretty much new to what they used to look like. They had no laces, they were dirty, some paint was coming off, and they had a lot of scratches. All that was fixed thanks to Angela's paint and E6000. Also, don't forget to drop a like on the video and also subscribe for more future restorations with sneakerhead_30.